Alright, y'all. So I'm gonna go over these problems really quickly. Feel free to slow it down or just excuse the background noise, by the way. Just pause it or slow it down, up to you. So quiz 11, I'm gonna let you read number 1. I'm gonna go through it with you how I would solve these problems. So the first thing that I would do is to draw. So I go sentence by sentence. So it says the road from town A. So I would write town A, due west, and then like anytime you have a problem with just like directions north, east, southwest, I would draw these compasses so that you don't have to put it in your head and make mistakes, right? So I would recommend writing that down. So we know west would be going to the left here. So they say from A to B is 14 kilometers. And they say a television mast is located due south of B. So we go straight down. So that's the television mast. Okay. And then they gave us the distance for that. So A said to find the distance between the mast from the center of town A. So it is this distance, right? We know this is a right angle because again, like we assume that it goes straight from like if they say from A to B, B to the mast, it's just like straight lines, okay? So we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. So this is what happened here. Okay, so B here is your bearing question. So it says find the bearing of the mass from the center of the town A. Okay. Again, bearing is just asking you from the true north, where is it at, right? So I would draw a straight line here, the vertical true north. Here, I'll draw it here. Just put it in. Okay, true north. So it's asking us find the bearing of the mass from the center of the town A. So from town A, where is it at, right? So, oops, it doesn't go through my town A though. Maybe I just do this. Okay, north. Yeah, again, excuse the background noise. So we need to know what this is. Okay, again, it's just asking us for this angle here from town A, right? And respect to the true north. Excuse me. Okay, so notice that this is outside of the triangle, but remember alternate interior angle says if you have two parallel lines and the alternate interior angles are equal or congruent, so the other parallel line, because the true north is the same, right, is basically the same line here, right? The true north is parallel to itself. Maybe that's not a good sentence to say, but like the parallel lines are here. So we know if they're parallel, then this would be the transversal line. So this angle here would also be theta. Okay. So basically we're solving for theta. So this would be your opposite side, and this would be our adjacent side, and we would use SOHCAHTOA. O and A would be tangent, so you set it up like that. Calculate it. You have to take the tangent inverse because you're solving for an angle here, and it would give you 31.33 degrees. And you need to specify where is it at, right? So from the true north, we're going this way here. So from the true north, we're going to the south, and then it's going toward the west, right? We go south first, 31 degrees west. That's what it means, okay? Okay, problem 2. It says the bearing of C from A is north 35 degrees east. So from A, we go to C. How? From A, again, we draw the vertical line of true north, and then we go 35 degrees due east, right? East is this way. So this is C here. Okay, the bearing of B, from A is south 55 degrees east. How did I know that B is here? Again, coming from A and drawing the true north, I would go south, okay, and then since east is this way, and then I would go 55 degrees. That's where B is. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to have to label the distance from C from A. That's 34 at 340. The distance of B from A is 160 kilometers, and then I'm done with my drawings, finally, right? And it says from the measure of angle BAC. When they write it like that, they're pretty much asking you what angle A is, okay, BAC, so this. So how did I know that was the right angle? Since this is a straight line, we know what this is, we know what this is. Add these up, and then subtract it from 180. Okay, so that's how I get the 90. All right. And then they ask for the distance between B and C. That's just the hypotenuse. We know the legs. Use Pythagorean theorem. All right. We're flying through these. And then number 3, it says use the complementary angle theorem to find the answer to the problem 1 minus cosine squared 20 minus sine squared 70. We know that cosine and sine are co-functions. So you guys need to convert one of these, either convert this to sine squared something or this to cosine squared something. I just converted this to cosine squared 20. So this and that are the same. So this would become 0. 1 minus 0 is 0. Okay. And then again, secant x equals negative 3.9, and then they're asking you cosecant y. We know that secant x and cosecant y are co-functions, then that means they're equal to each other. Okay. Number 4 is you pretty much just needed to draw a triangle, label them A, B, C, and label the sides and angles properly. Angle A is 40, side A is 22. Again, side A would be the opposite side of angle A, and side B is 12. Then we need to find what angle B is. So I would use the law of sine, because this is angle side sine, and I would set them up like this, and then I would solve for B. Again, because we're solving for an angle, I would have to take the sine inverse. Last but not least, number 5, it says map measures the angle of elevation of the peak of a mountain as 35 degrees. So I just drew, well, I started with where Matt is, right? And then Matt is saying there's an angle of elevation, so this is from the ground, 35 degrees. And it says Susie, who is 1,200 feet closer on a straight level path. So this was 1,200. So Susie is here. Measures the angle of elevation. Again, from Susie's standpoint, this is 42 degrees. So we need to know how long is the new ski lift. Okay, the ski lift is actually this. Okay. Alright. So again, I would have labeled this and that only, right? So there's a right angle because it's on top of the mountain, and a straight line that's perpendicular would be 90 degrees. And how did I find 138? Because I know this is a straight line, adds up to 180 degrees. This is 42. 180 minus 42 is 138. Also, I needed to find these angles. Again, this is a right triangle, so 90 minus 42 is 48. And plus 90 would be 180, right? Sum of the angles. And last but not least, this is a right triangle. 90 plus 35 and 55 would add up to 180. So we're done, right? Drawing at least. So we need to go back to what we needed to find, which is the distance of the ski lift. I set up a law of sine here, and then I plugged in the sine of 35 is opposite to the ski lift side, and then 1200 is the opposite of sine angle 7 degrees. And then I solved it, and it got 5,647.78 feet. Okay, so hopefully that was informative for y'all. Good luck on your test.